Wednesday, my dudes.
Why
It's not
can't
though.
you just be normal?
I mean, usually we record on Tuesdays in any case, I guess.
We know
Yeah.
what happens on Tuesdays.
Yeah, no, you're off limits on Tuesdays. We know what you do on Tuesdays.
Mysterious
We don't want to be.
things.
We don't want to be there for that. Thanks.
So welcome back everybody to the WARFELLAS Podcast. If it's your first time tuning in, we're just a group of fellas who like Warframe and we share our thoughts online. My name is Jason, I'm your host. Joining me this episode we have Callum.
Why am I first this week, dude? I'm so used to being third. For sake.
Hey, I had to reorganize. Josh.
Look at that. 2 seconds in and censored.
Was it, Bruce?
Reuben.
I don't like being third.
Don't worry, we can rearrange. And Kian.
Hello.
So we do episodes once every 2 weeks, coinciding with Barracuteer's visits, and we talk banter, memes, and content. All this and more on the WARFELLAS Podcast. Stay tuned to find out. Of course,
I mean, you might say content.
of course, we are a little late in this week because we waited for the Heart of Deimos release and the dev stream and Barrow. So for those of you that care, Barrow's selling a rug. That's all.
That's the highlight right there. What a rug.
No, he's got 2 weapons for those who haven't picked up the weapons. It's a Volcar Wraith and some other thing.
But nobody cares about those.
Prisma Tetra, but I mean, who needs those when you can have a rug?
People who want mastery,
I
Jason.
mean, come on, Prisma Tetra. That's the disco ball machine.
Listen,
It's
you can
fashion
have all the
flair
mastery
to
you
the
want,
max.
but you won't have a rug covered in lotus symbols.
Boy, will they give us all the mastery we want. But it's
You know,
locked. It's locked behind many things.
Even with Heart of Deimos, we're still not going to reach rank 30 yet, Steve said. Almost there.
That feels bad. I was saying, like, you say that you're not going to have a lotus rug, but you know someone on Reddit's going to be like, look, my girlfriend made me a rug. It has lotus symbols on it.
Nah. It's gonna be a daughter rug.
Oh,
That's yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
yes.
actual rug or her rug?
Oh no.
no,
Now
no.
you see. That's for stepmom to know and for us to speculate.
Step 10 to
Oh,
know.
dear.
Oh boy. So, Warframe
Just-
news. Recently, everyone already knows Heart of Deimos is here. Obviously, there will be spoilers on this podcast. If you haven't played the update yet, or if you actually care about spoilers, don't worry about it. It's just a good time. You'll figure the things out anyway.
Just
Did we get a confirmation
Face
on the
Mom
dev
is secretly
stream?
Barracuteer. That is the biggest spoiler you're gonna get this year.
Did we get a confirmation of whether they're actually just giants or it's just these people big? Because I heard Steve eyeing in the background, but I didn't hear any like.
Nah, he
Blame it-
mentioned
blame
that
it on the
the
infestation.
the
Yeah.
infestation, right? Reuben said
Yeah.
they've blown them out of proportion. They said we must look to Ballast for more regular Orokin size.
All right, okay, because
I looked a ball bag, yeah. Great.
Of course,
we
when
got-
they
we
mentioned
got-
proportion.
We got
Twitch
concept
chat.
art about ball bags.
Oh yes, so many. In fact, I believe did they not say that was intentional?
I mean, they certainly acted like just watch out for that.
And Steve did say on this dev stream that all the new Orokin writing is just innuendos.
We've noticed. I mean, have you seen the new infested? I mean, that's some.
There is
Phallic
literally a
shaping right
testicle
there.
with legs, yeah.
What do you guys
Yeah.
think of the new infested? Not just the ones they showed in the dev stream, but like what we've got so far with Deimos. Because we had all sorts of ideas.
I'll tell
Oh.
you what, they died so quickly. I haven't had a chance to look at them.
yeah, I'm looking forward to higher level versions of them. I mean, we did that one Steel Path mission where it was a bit tight. It was a bit
Yeah, I was
tight
about
at
to say
moments.
hard mode didn't do it for you guys.
What the bounty?
Yeah.
It was there was something that was draining my health the whole mission that I couldn't identify.
I definitely think that the new infested are more interesting. Have become more intricate.
There's potency in them for sure.
Yeah,
My
like
favorite one is the Facehuggers, though.
I've got
oh,
to say that is
they're
pretty
So
cool.
annoying. They're very cool, but so annoying.
I
I-
literally stared one in the face. Pardon
You,
that.
you guys aware that they can attach onto your head whilst you're using your K drive? And it makes it really hard to fucking like go where you're trying to go.
I
They do it
didn't
in
know that.
Arkwing as well.
Yeah,
First time it happened to me, I was like, "Oh my god, what is happening?"
That's amazing. That's a Pixar moment when that happens to you.
Yeah, no, that was a rip right there.
No, I can't say too many bad things about the invested units themselves. Just I want more. We did see that we are getting more, so that's
Now that I
nice.
think about it, the moment they attached onto me, I immediately hit a pole and went flying, which was hilarious with this thing on my head. Anyway, moving on.
Like I said, a Pixar moment.
Yep.
Yeah, look, if I had to say something about the Infested myself, it would be that, like, you guys know how the Infested look. You know, they look very much like, I don't know, plague creatures. You know, they're usually round and bulbous and bulging, like pus glands.
You're
Oh,
describing a hentai that I watched 2 weeks ago.
Welcome to
I don't want to
Warframe.
watch what you watch. That's all I'm saying. Not if it looks infested. Although then again, I'm sure Warframe Reddit at present
Tentacles, dude.
would disagree. Oh
Tentacles.
goodness, that's what the Facehuggers look like. Where was I going with this? Yes, so the new Grey Strain Infested, the new units that look sort of like giant centipedes with the the sharp pointy legs and whatnot. They still have these like glowing fronds on them, like our Kavats have for tails. I don't know if
True.
anyone's noticed that, which does confuse me when I'm trying to do conservation and I see, oh look, a cat, and it's actually a centipede.
Yeah.
I am curious. I wonder if there's maybe we must go into the codex and have a look if there's like a specific reason for their what's the word, conformity. Because most infested is a bit random, a bit mutatey, right?
Well, yeah,
Where
yeah.
These are very consistent.
I guess
in
we'd
their
have an
shape.
answer with that if we knew what the heck the Deimos, like, not the Deimos, but like the actual, what was it, an Orican moon?
It was a research facility.
Yeah.
But yeah, you see, you make a good point, because regular infested generally are made from morphed up models of Grineer and Corpus, right?
These seem more intentional.
Yeah, we have a lot more sort of original infested here, or I don't know if original is the right word, but at least different infested.
Yeah.
You've got the two worms, obviously, that represent sun and moon, that look very, what are they called? Fuss and Voss?
Us and Vom, yeah.
Fuss and Vom, yeah.
I want to
And
kill him.
They're insectoid. The new dragonflies that you can ride on are insectoid. The centipedes are insectoid. Is insectoid just the whole grey strain? And if so, where's the rest of the insectoid looking infested? Why do they have ballsack dropships?
And where do these dropships refill?
I mean, to be fair, that's like that where we can start questioning Alien then, because where did the Facehuggers come from? Miniature ball
But like,
sacks.
if you've noticed, like when you're in a mission, every now and then, like just pus or growths will happen on the ground where enemies pop out of, which I find is a very fun way to solve this. Oh, but where did the enemy spawn in from? Question, because obviously the enemies like the Grineer and Corpus spawn in little doorways, and that their spawn locations normally just outside of the map.
They come through the vents.
Yeah, stuff like that. But
Like
obviously,
us,
it's not
they're learning.
super
Oh no.
aesthetically pleasing. So I feel like this is a much more aesthetically pleasing spawning way or function. But
I mean, with the open worlds, they have a bit more logic to their appearance. So got the dropships and whatnot. It would be pretty fun if there was like some kind of mission where you could find, say, like the drop pods, infested drop pods, like finding enemies and like Corpus or Grineer, and you've got to save them or they get scooped up and eaten and then converted into infested inside the. That would be pretty cool as a narrative standpoint, I think. That was it, yeah.
Speaking of which,
Yeah.
that Garv Grineer guy in the missions, he's my spirit
What a
animal.
lad. What a lad.
I hate him.
He is annoying, but he is one of the better characters we've seen in the game recently.
I just hate doing work for somebody for free.
No, I'm gonna recruit him. He'll be a lich.
I already have that Tonkor Lich that can kill anything.
You mean until you take the weapon in your own hands?
I'm not gonna touch it. That guy's gonna sit there forever as my little Tonkor Lich, bro. I think his name is like Momgad or something.
Did you say Mother Gagged?
No,
Yeah,
Momgad.
that is what it sounded like.
Yeah.
I'm kind of, I have a curiosity on my mind, and where are the things that would equate to Dargon pilots for this?
Don't ask questions like that.
Isn't that the Facehuggers? That's the
I-
Facehuggers.
Facehuggers, bro.
Oh, those floaty little evil bastards that throw you off your fucking K drive at full speed.
But you don't see us hopping onto like a miniature version of the dropships and flying around in them.
But what's the
Nice.
Corpus version of Dargon pilots? In the Orbalis, I mean.
We didn't even get to drive those cycle thingies.
They did tell us
They've
we
got
would.
drones, Jason.
Yeah,
The lies that they've been told.
Yeah, Jason, third orb mother, mate.
Yeah, where?
They said they're working on it. They said this
Jason, when was Fortuna launched?
too long ago, lad.
That's my point.
Sorry, you said Fortuna, and I just had to think of a tuna salad, and I lost track.
Fortuna.
Yeah,
Nah, dude, stuff that we got some really nice pork pies earlier.
pork pies.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna have to side with tuna on the majority, but a pork pie would be good.
I'll take a pork pie any day over tuna.
I would take both.
Good pork
Wrong.
pies as well from farmers markets, like freshly made.
Okay, well there you go. That wins.
See, I don't
But
know
still.
if I want tuna in a pie. I have it
No,
on a
no,
sandwich.
not in the pie, obviously. Give it to me out the
Yeah,
tin. I
you
don't
definitely
care.
put it on a sandwich.
Yeah, that would be better. So we've all got
Tuna
our
pie.
sort of first impressions with Heart of Deimos. I gotta say, I do love the open world environment.
That backdrop
is
art
very,
is just disgustingly beautiful.
It is. It really
atmospheric.
is.
Is that the right way to say that?
I think
Yo-
it is. Even with the new music and the feel of the place, it feels very alien, which is a difficult thing
Yeah.
to achieve.
And
You
Orders
certainly changed your mind, Jason.
Oh, yes,
Earlier
and
you were saying you
Orders-
didn't know how you felt.
Well, I didn't know how I felt about the infested units themselves. I mean, but as far as the design of the world goes, the other thing I didn't quite know about at the start was the size. I didn't think it was maybe big enough, but honestly, I quite like the fact that this open world is smaller than the other two. You know,
Yeah.
Plains
that
of
was gonna be a
Eidolon,
bit
they
of a
did this
chore.
big thing with these different regions and zones that you get to learn, and these areas you go to. Orb Valis, they kicked up on that tenfold, and they're like, all right, here's an even bigger map. I think for this one, they were like, well, let's try and make something with more verticality. Now, does it have more verticality than the Orb Valis?
That's so. I mean, how much of it have you
I would
explored?
say what they did is they made a smaller map, but they condensed everything so that there's always something, but it's relatively close together, even if it's a smaller map. But that
The
makes
world
it
is more
feel like
alive.
Definitely.
it's more filled.
Quite literally.
I certainly feel like it's hard. It's not like straightforward to find things. It's actually like, wait, did I just miss that kind of moments?
Also, because the
Get
cave
that.
systems are far more intricate and interwoven, right? It actually feels like, whereas the other open worlds feel very large, because they are, whereas Deimos feels like you can get lost in it. Like literally, you can
yeah.
get lost, which is not something you felt in the other maps.
You know, it's funny you mentioned
Which I
that because
rather
recently
enjoy.
I was grinding away at my Warframe achievements, and I found out I hadn't been into every cave in the Orb Valis yet. So I went and I looked up a list of the caves so that I could go and find and discover the locations, and it's just for all the time that we've had the Orb Valis, I've never had any reason to go to these caves.
And
Even
now
if
they've changed that. in
yeah,
Deimos,
even if you're an
which is-
explorer at heart and you just want to find them, you get nothing for going there.
yeah.
I know that there's a couple databanks head around the map, and you can scan them to get Yutiko's backstory and all that, but for the most part, it's just they don't really serve a purpose in gameplay, so
Yeah.
the map feels needlessly bloated, I think. Whereas exactly what you said, it's right. Everything's condensed and the world feels
Yeah.
alive as a result.
And they've given everything a bit more purpose. Everything that is there, which works fine. I will say I really hope now that they've got an open world for each faction, that they go back and just start adding, filling in the gaps and all the others. But I would say each time they've done open world, they've made it a bit more interesting. So they're definitely learning and taking in lessons, which is really nice to see.
No, agreed. And of course, then there's the mechanical side. How do you guys feel about the token system, Callum? Let's start with you.
I actually
It's-
like the token system.
That's not what you said on release.
No,
that's
release
certainly-
pissed me right off, dude.
Mm.
When I saw the conservation, I lost my mind. I was not impressed with that. But overall, the mother tokens, so you can just like save them up, come back, when you don't have time to play, and just be like, "Hey, can't play today. Enjoy the tokens." That's good shit. That's a step in the right direction for me. But conservation, you go to hell.
I'd be happy to grind out the Steel Path bounty for no other reason than that's a hell of a lot of mother tokens.
It is.
And if
It
I'm
really
using
is.
mother tokens to get all the standing, then the only thing that I actually need the other faction tokens for is level up requirements or recipes.
Yeah. No, I have the same opinion as Callum. On release, to be honest, it just felt a bit overwhelming. This whole new system. I just for some reason couldn't comprehend this token system. And then when I realized how simple it was, probably like 10 minutes, and I was like, okay, my heart stopped racing. I was like, this isn't some unnatural crazy grind. We have to do maths on how many tokens of this kind do I have to trade for that kind to get to this kind. So it's like,
In fairness, though,
it's,
Josh, it does help with the changes they've made to cost less
does.
resources. Like getting rid of the scintillant or
Scintillant costs,
I can never remember what it's called.
Scintillant,
Getting rid of that
yeah.
on Father,
Just
and
think
then
scintillating, but not.
yeah. Well, also like I say, getting rid of that as a cost for Father, and then
Yeah.
also what is it? They halve the cost or change the cost for the Sun as well. Just makes life that much better.
And you're not concerned they've made it too easy.
No.
No, they took it
No.
down to MR8. That was already too easy, so we'll just leave it at that. May as well be easy.
Descent in the ranks.
I do feel that we will be getting a lot more content later on for higher tier players, but just based on the fact that we're getting all these necrolists, but I feel like we don't have a purpose for them yet. And I feel we'll have missions revolving around needing those where our warframes become disabled and such. Because in the initial story, they're like, no, they have higher resistance to void, whatever that.
Yeah, that I have to
is.
say that was a bit weird. Like over the years, we've noticed there's a couple of holes in story, and or like general, yeah.
There's your
Sorry.
problem. You expect it to be fought out. It's DE.
Well, Kian's got a bit of a point there because, and Josh as well, what you say about those missions, because one of the things that that I mentioned when they showed us the reveal at TennoCon is this is the heart, like the source of the power. It's the very first time that Tenno have been shown to have a kryptonite, so to speak.
Yeah.
This has so far been a power fantasy where the Warframes basically always get what they want, and every now and then, sure, LV cuts up one of us, but for the most part, we get our way. The Kuva people, the Queens try to. More spoilers for those of you out there, but play the game. It's a good game. Play it. It's mostly a good game, I promise. All the Kuva stuff going on. Whereas now it's like, hey, your biggest weakness, anyone can just come blow up this heart, and then the void is gone, your powers are gone, the rail jacks are gone, the solar rails are gone. None of that shit works anymore. And of course, the very Oricans who enabled all of this to work, one of them, Father, comes and tells us, oh yeah, well, you guys were like you were the thing that we made after this prototype army, which technically worked better than you because it obeyed orders. So
not only obeyed orders, but it was immune to the
The infection
sentience.
and sentience.
And I'm like, oh, then why do we exist?
But of course, a good question is, right? So the whole deal with the sentience was you couldn't use machines against them because they would take them over. So these ain't machines. They clearly look like dead people stuffed into a corn. I call it a corn because it looks like a millie.
Kind of feels like what we are, though, isn't it?
It does feel
we're alive.
For me, it feels like
Well.
a prototype Warframe. Like,
Yeah.
because Warframes themselves seem to be alive, and that, right? They have personalities.
Bros are proof.
To my knowledge. So I believe the Necramechs will also probably have had personalities or personality AI at least, and we're just a more refined version of what Necromechs are.
But the thing is, like, are we thinking about the Necramechs wrong in terms of it's just setting up for the next war story quest? Because it's said that they were used in the old war before us, right?
Yeah.
And then look at that, we also have a railjack. We're literally getting the tools for the war that was fought ages ago.
Yeah.
Except there's a difference now. We're using all those old tools with a Tenno.
Literally, the only thing that's changed is the pilot.
Yeah, but we also do have our Warframe with it. So yeah, I get what you're saying. Like we kind of gathering the team, like it's kind of we at the stage of the action film where they're getting the team together,
Except there's nobody cool. It's the Necrolord going, you son of a bitch, I'm in.
Yeah.
And we all know what our warframes are. They're strong.
It's like when I don't know if you guys watch Expendables, but when everybody starts rocking up and showing up for the final fight scene, and they're like, and somebody, they're always gonna have that Chuck Norris who rocks up and goes, "No, I did it all with my SMG," or whatever.
Yeah,
you
too
guys
true.
have seen Pirates of the Caribbean where they got that whole war table together.
Luck, man.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and you have that one Indian guy in the background who's like, and now we shall go to war. that's our Tenno, dude. It's just, my warframe is strong.
The corpus are just machines. He
Yeah,
says as I cut up
This
another
is
crewman.
that character.
Yeah, I'm like, well, this machine looks like it's made out of flesh to me.
Oh dear, so his daughter, eh? Or
All right. Well, that is actually on the table at the moment. So
Oh,
those of you who aren't aware of the new systems might be like, why have we been talking about son and daughter and mother and all that? So basically, this new faction that's been added has a group of NPCs that we talk to, and it's a family, a happy family of dysfunctional, grotesquely
what do you mean
mutated.
dysfunctional?
I think they're
Seems
completely
seems
happy.
pretty
Very
average
functional.
family matters to us, you know.
Yeah,
I mean,
their
I'm totally
names.
heard of daughters. Just oh wait, I can't say it.
Yeah.
That is a spoiler.
Oh dear. Well, their names are, until they are revealed to you, their names are grandmother, mother, father, son, and daughter.
And after you've realized all their names, you won't call them by them because it's just
yeah, I
so
still
much
can't
easier
remember
to
them.
call them by their role in the family.
Tentacles.
And some of them are more memorable than others.
I'm
Yeah.
just looking forward to ranking up to rank 4 and then being like, oh hey, Step 10 I'm stuck in a washing machine. Do you want to come help?
Oh
Hmm.
dear.
I'm stuck in an infested proboscis. Help.
Did you guys see the meme that I put in the group chat where someone did fan art on Reddit of all the characters from Family Guy
Oh
like
yeah.
done onto the onto the bodies of these infested family? This is pretty great. Rebecca commented on it. She said she didn't know whether this was a curse or a blessing.
Honestly, it's been the fan art has been cleaner than I would have expected.
Yeah, you haven't
You've
Googled it,
just
I
been
just
on the
Googled.
right website.
Yep.
It's all about the right keywords.
What are you, Callum? Are you on the Not Safe for Warframe subreddit?
No, but I will be.
Oh dear. You wouldn't believe it. That's a thing, apparently.
You know what I'd like to know is the thing. How does this purifier mission work?
The Purify mission.
It's
Oh no.
it's
It's
probably the
horrible.
least favorite, on top of the other mission where we have to help the stupid corpus guy collect
Oh yeah.
samples. Like I don't know what
Oh, yeah.
dictates what actually drops a sample, but sometimes we do it in less than a second. It feels like, and other times it takes 5 minutes.
Speaking
Yep.
of that Corpus guy, is he voiced by
Sounds sniff
Not the-
annuish.
not the business? Who's that guy in? There's a guy in Fortuna
Well,
that with
thanks
the
for that,
debt bonds.
Jason.
That's so
Oh yeah, there's a
disrespectful.
guy. Oh,
The
yeah,
debt
There's a
bonds.
guy.
I
The
feel
guy that does the
informed.
debt bonds. Ticker.
Yes.
Ticker's his name.
I
I'm
never
glad you
speak
said
to
the
that
T,
guy.
dude, because I was a bit worried for a second there.
Yeah, me too. I didn't know who to call.
You know how he speaks very slowly, sort of like this.
Very all pompous.
Yes. And of course, that Corpus guy's the same. It just sounds like he's got a mint stuck in his throat.
He just doesn't have the how should I say, the window shield in front of his face.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, he doesn't have that COVID armor on.
Yeah. There you go.
Talking about mint stuck in your throat, has anyone ever talked to Jason while he's sucking on, like, what is it, quavers or mini cheddars?
Yeah, it's
My
Yeah,
goodness, dude.
it's
I
the
swear
worst.
you're
I
goggling
don't
my
actually
shit half
hear
the time.
Jason.
It's like, nah, please breathe.
Listen, if I can get an order of mini cheddars in, that's the only time you'll hear me start to speak again.
No, anytime anyone passes you a snack, bro.
You just lost 20 years in one sentence.
Yeah, we also lost about 20 subscribers from that one.
So all our subscribers there.
He even lost us in that.
I have just
Gone.
unsubscribed from our own
Yeah.
channels. All
In fact, they've even come to my channel, subscribed, and then lost. Like,
Oh,
left.
Callum, what's your channel?
Exactly. What is my channel?
Oh
You can have
yes.
one.
What is YouTube?
Now,
What is Twitch?
let's not get
Look,
too
I'm on
deep
I'm
into
on
this.
holiday, okay? So I'm not gonna flex my channels this week.
Well, what
okay,
you were
well,
flexing was your resources that you got exploited from the obelisk bug.
look,
I don't know what
I'm-
you're talking about, D. It's not true.
That's not an exploit.
He-
He's simply
listen.
an excellent player.
His gamer tag is Reuben, right? Somehow spelled. I'm not entirely sure, so you can figure that part out. But he got one of your little beacon towers to drop all the loot in the entire planet forever because it didn't ever seem to stop. So take it away from him. Thank you.
Don't know what you're talking about. I've already spent them.
There you go.
Make him have a negative, have a debt, and make him work it off, like maybe at a corpus camp.
What is
or
this for
something.
tuna in real life? What the fuck?
Every time.
Debt bonds everywhere.
Infested debt bonds.
Well,
Although,
that,
in fairness, I wouldn't mind owing daughter a couple of bonds, if you know what I mean.
go on then, Callum.
Oh, you know, just cutting some fish with her. He likes to watch.
Oh yeah,
No,
no,
there's a reason why they say
she makes
Oh Ah, man.
That whole conversation has just been censored, boys.
It's gonna be one long bleep.
You know, when we eventually start doing this live, the main attraction that's going to draw people is they want to know what you're saying when I don't censor it. They're going to be like, what is he actually,
Don't-
what's...
Jason, it's perfect because then you can start a Patreon.
Of course, Patreon, just to hear all the cutout clips joined together of Callum from the previous
Just
streams.
copy MXR, bro. He knows the way.
Oh yeah, the man has his way and it works. At the
That's-
end of the podcast, I'd like you to point out how many people, percentage-wise, are not subscribed to the channel.
Mhm.
And always make it like 40 or 60% weight
Yeah.
between that number.
Make
Hey,
sure
look,
that
let's
they
be
really
honest. You
feel
guys would
bad.
miss me if I weren't here talking shit.
We would, Callum. We would.
We'd know less about this.
Hey, look, someone's got to educate you in the British ways.
Like, I gotta say though, right? For all the memes people are making about a daughter, because no one cares about any other member of that family. Like, why was she designed the way she was? Why does she speak so seductively with innuendos?
Let me put it to you like this: someone at D has a major lockdown stiffy.
Yeah, that's fair.
But of all the things, why? Why an infested? This is like the mermaid scenario all over again. The bottom half is a fish, the top half is a person, except this time the bottom half is a
Mate,
tumor.
it's the
The bottom half is a.
it's an infestation. It'll find a way.
You know what the biggest problem is? It's the who was red texting while
Oh yeah,
Steve
the
was
gimp
streaming
suit.
during launch night.
Oh dear.
Because I'm pretty sure whoever was doing that was behind creating Sister.
I think it's sometimes Megan that's on the red text, but they never reveal who's always doing it. But yes, you were right. On the release stream when Steve went live and they were talking about releasing Heart of Deimos, he was saying that Red Text Cult was engaging in furry roleplay in one of the relay chats, and Red Text was entertaining them. And he said Rebecca was telling him to tell them to stop.
So I think it's that group of people who are involved in creating Sister because I haven't seen this behavior from anyone else at DE. You know.
Right, if they ever
I'd,
get fired from D, they're the ones I'd like to hire.
There they go.
They can come work on my channel scripts.
On your channel scripts or your channel artwork.
Either way, they're not getting paid.
But they will have a job, just not a paying job.
It's a
Charitable
fulfilling job.
A job that'll allow them to earn enough platinum to buy the resources they
Yes.
need.
They won't
Also,
even get
DE
platinum, dude.
75% off, please, for Callum.
Yeah.
Please, D, I need the plat.
But
I
we'll
want to
take
give you
away
my
all
money.
his resources.
We have to do the ritual where we first subsume your wisp, and then they'll.
Absolutely not.
There are
I
limits.
smell some shade.
Hey, be thankful we can't subsume your Stalter.
What's wrong with you?
I'd still like to have an. Is there an answer to how this sample extraction is done with the purifier? Because I've been stuck on one sample for the last good while.
What do you mean?
So this is the thing
yeah.
with the expanding radius and the power cells dropping. Yes.
Oh no.
No, he's
that's good
He's
shit.
trying to collect the samples before. Jason, remember when? So he has trying to help the corpus dude get the samples.
Oh yeah, we had a theory that you have to kill the guy that your friend has shot at, else it doesn't count.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So you can't kill too fast. You have to wait for them to build up and then kill them.
I
What
don't know
things
how
you
to
really
lock
need to
pick.
change though, boys, is when he's uploading the data.
Yes,
Yeah,
flipping
yeah.
hell.
Oh no, this is not with the corpus lad. It's just the purifier.
Oh, you have to find the energy core and shove it into that thing.
And then
Yeah.
little plants will show up on your map, and you got to pick them up before the radius shrinks around
I
them.
see. Okay. I feel informed. Thank you.
Reuben, remember that mini map that I told you that exists in Warframe that you never use?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's what you should use.
But you see, you can't blame him because Lotus Nav is misleading.
It's really bad.
I know.
Yeah,
But
there's no Lotus. I was going to say Lotus.
Lotus hasn't said a
No
word,
Lotus
and neither has
yeah.
Ordis. It's been a
It's
blessing.
mom
I never
nav,
wanted to leave.
okay?
What do you think Ordis is going to say when he eventually figures out what we've been doing on this planet?
Dude, I'm straight up gonna uninstall Ordis and install Lloyd.
Nah, dude, I don't like Lloyd. Lloyd
I-
can.
I
We're getting
don't
him
like
as a
Lloyd
sentinel.
either. I don't like Lloyd either, but I'm tired of shouting at Ordis. It's boring now. I kind of feel like he's enjoying it.
Alex calls Lloyd the free version of Claptrap.
I mean, she's not
Okay.
wrong. That's more or less what it is, isn't it? All of us. If you had to quickly explain to someone what Lloyd is, you'd say, "Oh, he's Claptrap, but in Warframe."
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's not that
yeah.
bad though.
Yes, he is.
Okay. I honestly I don't do many missions with Lloyd, apart from that stupid vault where you sit there for 4 hours while he slowly moves along
Dude,
and you
honestly,
can't
I go,
boost him.
dude, I'm fed up of going into a bounty now, seeing one of the flipping centipedes, and then Lloyd is like going, "Oh, that's the new bitey scratchikins."
Is
It's as
those
bad
what?
as
Wait, those are
yes,
what they refer to as bitey scratchikins?
yeah, dude.
I
It's
thought
the
they were talking
centipede
about like
things.
the cats or the dogs, you know,
No, it's
because
the centipedes, mate.
Yeah,
I'm going to go outside and find a Shongololo and adopt it and call it bitey scratchikins.
dude,
Well done.
you know, I want one of those centipedes as a pet. Like, I would rather have that.
Yeah, in
Imagine
fairness, yeah,
having
I
that
have to
crawling
agree with
around
you.
inside
Yeah.
your ship, bro.
I'm
As a
glad you said
companion,
your
that would be
ship.
amazing.
Yeah.
Imagine
Easy
that
now.
crawling around. Whale.
Hey,
So who of you have actually? I mean, this is a funny thing. We haven't really talked about it. One of the biggest things of this update is the whole Helminth subsuming frames, and no one cares.
it's
I
just
mean,
it's so. It doesn't feel like it's very far locked behind a lot of grind.
I'm having my helmet tomorrow, so we'll find
Must
out.
And
be nice.
also, you got to remember, a lot of the hype for it died when DE nerfed all the good abilities.
This is
Yeah, I think
true.
that the unnerving needs to happen. I don't care about all those people who are all like, oh, but then it's gonna make things OP. Warframe is full of OP things.
Already, yeah.
Balance is
Yeah, let's
not
just remove ribbons while we nerf everything
yeah,
else in the
like
game. TY.
balance isn't exactly something that we need to worry about in Warframe because Warframe is 90% feel good, 10% look good, and then 0% skill.
But
Dude, no. You're all wrong. You're all
Okay,
wrong.
I
okay.
have
It's
to disagree with it.
100% Wisp's ass.
Yeah, and that falls under looks.
I don't have
Callum,
Wisp.
you forgot the 10% boxes of sand.
No shit, yeah.
Hang on, isn't
0% t-shirts.
what isn't this objectifying Wisp?
I mean, she's not a woman
Absolutely
though,
not.
so
Okay, okay.
Well, she's a ghost.
and she's
She's
also
not
a
real,
Warframe.
Callum.
No, not to you, Jason.
I'm gonna 3D print Wisp's ass and give it to you as a gift when you arrive in the UK.
Oh
He's,
no,
he's
it's
gonna
a
make
whole
it real.
new world of.
Oh no!
No,
Well,
you just give him a Wisp ass
Well-
mouse
Callum,
pack.
quickly, new box of sand idea.
Yep.
look back on the topic of the Helminth, right?
I know.
I think just like DE has been quickly releasing hot fixes and balancing this, and really kudos to them because it was a little AIDS when it came out, and they've made it quite a bit less since, you know, in the last 2 days. 2 days, 3 days, last 3 days.
I don't know. It's a certain amount of time.
It's all been a
Yeah,
blur.
since it released, they've made it a bit less AIDS, and I think they said they're going to do the same with the Helminth. They first need enough people to be able to get it that they
Yeah.
can see the data of what people are doing with it before they choose what to buff and whatnot. They said the same is going to happen with Zaku. Actually, they said Zaku in
And-
a couple weeks.
And the max.
Yeah.
Yeah, because lots of people are getting Zaku right now, and it looks like the general approach is it's shit.
Yeah.
Well, that's
The thing is,
most
the problem
new
is the
frames.
weapons are always around, like the weapons you pick up from the enemies are always around the level of the enemies, and they don't seem to have enough damage to kill themselves with their own guns, which makes sense.
Yeah,
As they would
they're
have killed
scaled
themselves
to
long
withstand,
before we
uh,
would
Yeah,
have got there.
what if you go into a Steel Path mission?
So my understanding is basically, and this was something people had started encountering years ago when they used mag to clear out void missions. Was that basically in Warframe the enemies are their health is designed to withstand the damage the tenor weapons output, which is in the millions potentially, right? Tens of thousands plus.
I don't know.
Whereas
They
a
don't feel like they
Warframe
can
only
withstand my
has a
damage.
couple hundred to a couple thousand HP total, and so your opponent's weapons are designed to, not instantly kill you, but also, do some damage.
Tell that to the Corpus Techs with their shotguns.
No, fair is fair, but the thing is, against their own health pool, so their weapons are meant to do, like a 10,000 damage shot would immediately kill a Warframe. Most Warframes, right?
Look, I don't think we should be confusing game mechanics with, lore and so on here. I mean,
No. That's what I mean.
when it comes to promotional content and videos and stuff, the frames do look significantly weaker than we actually play them, if only for how limited they actually are in their ability use in a rapid rapid ability use in a space of time, whereas we just usually pop them off as many times as we want with the builds we have.
No cooldowns is fun for most abilities.
And when you get your Helminth, I won't give spoilers, but there is a bit of dialogue about how he repairs you every time you get back to your ship, So I suppose battle damage is a thing canonically for the Tenno.
I mean, look what happened to us. Potential spoilers with that Necramech.
Mission, yeah.
Yeah. No, good point there. We're a bit more mortal than we look in the video games.
It's
And
kind of
also how
annoying
we
because
feel.
in the cinematic trailer we made out to be a lot more godlike than you'd even feel in game. Like,
Ooh.
damn.
Oh, dude, you need to
don't
really
know.
read the comics. The comics are so good.
I don't know. I never feel not godlike. I feel like just you kind of have to be smart with.
I
the
don't know.
character,
Hey, we've all done the Grendel mission.
What do you-
I honestly had nothing but fun with that mission, though.
What was
Hey,
the?
you want to go
You're
do it again
mentally
now, quick?
disturbed.
What did you say, Jason?
If you go into the Laverian for
Yeah.
Nova, you will
Yeah.
learn just how godlike the Tenno are.
I was gonna say just go to Ash, bro.
Dude, I think I haven't actually seen his yet, to be honest. I haven't
It's
seen all that. I
epic,
still
dude.
need to
That
get through
story
them.
is so epic.
But the way they portray the Tenno is like they debate you a bit, and then they're like, "Nah, just kidding. The Tenno are gods. They can do what they want."
Hello?
Although this update is a bit contradictory to that. Speaking of, Callum, the reason I brought up that loot obelisk thing that you were doing earlier, not to talk too much about that, was what do you guys think of the new grind? Because I noted that it feels like these hotfixes have made it significantly easier. And while I'm happy for that in the short term, are these things not supposed to be long-term goals? Because currently they only really feel a bit AIDS, I think, because everyone has the idea that they need to reach a new rank every day or grind this out in the course of a week. Whereas maybe this could have been something designed to take a bit longer. What do you guys
No,
think
but
about?
what you have to remember, Jason, is one factor. Not everyone is over MR20, dude. The
Yeah.
amount of mastery they can hand in every day is significantly less.
So
Like if you're MR8, that's what, 9,000 that you can hand in?
something like that, it's ridiculous. Like what I've managed to hand in, it would take somebody under MR10 maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks to do.
But see, that's precisely my point. Like, so people who are lower level have longer to farm up the items that they need to actually hit the level up while they busy
Yeah.
turn into coins for standing. It's only the people who are higher enough MR to actually be able to rush it that really want to be able to do everything super quickly.
Yeah.
So in that
Well,
regard, honestly, it wouldn't have bothered me very much if they hadn't changed the scintillant thing, and if
I
they
mean, scintillant.
scintillant is
I'm
scintillant
gonna
real, Steve?
correct you every time. Don't worry.
Yeah, the scintillant, and I don't think it would have been so horrible if they hadn't made the conservation less AIDS either. I'm very happy that it's not because I have less grind, but at the same time, it keeps people busy for a bit longer, and it was kind of like what they did with the Plains of Eidolon.
Yeah, but there's another issue with that, Jason. For another player that also isn't as high MR as us, they have to still do that for planes. They still have to do that with flipping Fortuna. They
There's a
still
lot
have
to
to do that now with this as well. And it's 2 factions per open world.
You've actually got a very good point, because if you think about it, this has to be the easiest faction so far to level up with out of all of them.
Yeah.
It also is like this kind of second lowest level because Fortuna is higher level enemies than this.
And you have to have. I haven't actually checked. Can you buy mining lasers or tranquilizer rifles in this
You
place?
can buy a
No.
trank gun, you can.
Can you buy
Yeah.
a trank gun?
What does
Yeah,
it
I've
look
seen
like?
that. Like the trank gun.
Is it the same thing?
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
To be fair, when they backported animals into the Plains of Eidolon and said, okay, you can trank them there too, because remember we didn't have that there initially.
That we
Yeah.
didn't.
They just also bought the same trank rifle and backported it that there too.
I got a question. Now we're speaking about these devices here. Anybody tried mining since they upgraded the mining tools, like during this hot patch?
Upgraded?
So now when you use your mine and you pull that out and you look down the mining site and then look out, all the ores are highlighted by a box
Yeah.
for a while.
Yeah. They've got a
I
Oh,
was
it
wondering what
is
that was.
Really nice.
Yeah,
must say.
it's because it's almost impossible to find some of these ores, and also they've been steadily fixing the mining areas for the ores, because quite a few of the ores had areas that like, you'd see the ore, but there would be no lights to mine on. So you'd have to sit there guessing where to mine.
So remember when you were doing the vault with me and you had to go?
Yeah,
I just spent the whole next hour mining.
and you saw those boxes.
So yeah, I saw the boxes. They haven't quite fixed all the areas and ores yet. So you'll
Yeah,
find a
but
glowy spot
it's
with
much
ore,
better
and
though.
you kind of have to just scribble all over the edges and hope that it fails something quick enough that you can get a piece. I will
Yeah.
say this: it's certainly not as peaceful as mining anywhere else on the other open world maps. Not that those are particularly peaceful, but the space leaves room for enemies to not keep sneaking up on you.
Yeah, it honestly
Doesn't
doesn't
it?
feel like you have a moment's of spare time here.
Guys, I have
Hey.
something to confess.
Okay.
Due to said exploits, I actually haven't mined anything, but I
No.
have used the mining tool
Here we
to
go.
zoom in on other wisps' ass while I'm playing with them.
I mean, that's the true use of the mining tool. What you're mining for, that's important here.
I mean,
Harrow accepts your confession.
I only mined because I wanted to see what the mining, like if they changed any mining, and also before I realized how easy the quest was to get those little towers were to get resources. So yeah, I've hardly mined, but I've kind of got enough ores to do any gem cutting I need.
It is
Oh.
very nice that the loot cave, as it may as well be called, mission where you go for the vaults, has
Yeah.
a bunch of these. And I think that's another thing that they actually did in the Orb Valis as well. They introduced a boss you could go and kill. What
For
was it?
all the loot,
Yeah.
yeah.
For a
They
whole
also
bunch of
added
gems
it.
and stuff.
They also added them to the plains of Ireland, the Tusk Thumpers.
No, those don't count. Those can go straight to hell. Thank you very much.
So
No, they
only
are quite
certain
annoying.
people struggle to kill them.
They're
Hey,
just-
People
now.
who can't aim, but yeah.
Hey, now. I want to be able to melee them. Is that too much to
Dude,
ask?
I kill them in melee all the time. They're weak to Valkyr's Cry just long enough for you to kill them all.
Yeah, but do you go into the hard mode ones?
Yeah, I've killed a couple.
Because
yeah,
you
melee
got to
does-
get them over a certain level for the. Thankfully, for those of you who haven't farmed the Gerudo yet, good luck.
Yeah.
For those of you that
Easy as
have,
that.
I feel your pain.
What we probably spent, it was probably 4 hours in total trying to get that.
Yep.
Like, over multiple days.
Multiple instances, multiple literal in-game and out-game days.
It was
I
painful.
would just like to point out one fact as well, boys,
Mhm.
quickly. For all the viewers watching this, when Jason says he feels your pain about farming anything, don't believe his lies. He buys frames.
Hey
Yeah,
now,
that's-
I've only ever bought.
I keep thinking you're about to sing the song, dude, with the amount of time you say "Hey now" and every time you mention the word.
You're an all-star. No, I don't buy frames.
He bought one, guys. That's enough for him to have it tarnish his reputation forever.
Kian bought me both Harrow and Inaris Prime.
Because you were crying for like a week. No, I'm just like, don't get me wrong, you were trying to get them, but damn it, either unlucky or what, I don't know.
Well,
I was
I
very
only
unlucky.
got Harrow recently from Warframe's Twitch drops, so thank you, Warframe.
And now you can subsume him.
I don't
Easy.
think I will because I don't want his ability, so it's fine.
That's
Out
true.
of curiosity, guys,
Mhm.
you know, in the Warframe universe, right, lore-wise, we wouldn't know what could be subsumed apart from abilities. But what if there's like a Tenno, like obviously an elder one, because you don't want the weird kid versions, because obviously this sentence would then be a bit, and second, it'd
Welcome
just be
to
wrong.
Warframe.
But basically, right, what if there was a girl that was like, oh, my ass is a bit flat, let me subsume Wisp for her ass.
I mean, really, let's all face it. DE knows that's a thing. Ass is important in Warframe.
Hmm.
I mean,
I mean,
that's
look, you could just buy an air compressor.
I don't think you know how ass works, Jason.
No, dude, he's right. There's a that you just put, and then
Oh,
there.
yeah. I always wondered what that's for.
Oh dear! Don't try this at home,
Done this.
kids.
No,
Definitely
try
not
this at
kids.
home.
Kids
Tag me
should
in on
definitely
Twitter.
not try this.
No, try it. Tag me in on Twitter at Raygun. I want to see this shit.
Yeah, this
You
is
will
why
literally
when
see the shit all over the place. It will
this
be
is why when
great.
I upload the video and YouTube says, "Is this content for kids?" and I think, well, kids play video games, but no. And I check no. Oh
Look,
dear.
I'm just,
bad.
they should just they should release customizable sliders for that particular part of the gluteus.
Well, You joke, but they did say that they want to overhaul the customization system and allow a greater degree of freedom. And people have been asking for this for a long, long time. Anyone who's ever
Boob slider.
They're asking for body sliders. I don't think that's a good idea
No.
because we know where Warframe will go with it.
not body sliders, I don't think.
Could you imagine a boob slider on Inaros?
Do you know how ridiculous Rhino is going to look? He's going to
Dude,
have a third
I'm
leg,
thinking about
literally.
Hilton.
Rhino's name will just change to the Cod Piece.
What will happen to our dear something, whatever you want to call it,
Going to
Nezza?
look like that new infested.
Now you know I have to censor that part.
No. Unfortunately, you just have to kick him from the channel because that's what DE does.
Yeah, they get a 24-hour
You have
ban
been
right there.
banned.
DE,
24-hour ban
someone put a
should be-
screenshot on the Reddit actually. Someone was able to trick the kickbot, and they of course had to censor their screenshot, so we don't know how they did it. But DE kickbot had to kick itself, and they took a screenshot of that and they put it on the Reddit. And I think it was Scott's account who came on Reddit under the name DE Kickbot and just commented on it saying fake news. Like, nope, didn't happen. I don't know what you're talking about, sort of thing. So Reuben,
Wait, so that meant for 24 hours anyone could put anything in chat?
no, they would have just put another Kickbot in.
Aww. That's funny. Oh,
So,
I love
Reuben.
that.
Yes,
Out of all of us, you probably have the least experience with Heart of Deimos so far.
that's true.
Given that you haven't had the time to work out all the things we have with
What
your
a call out, dude.
well, no, hang on, because none of us can answer this question because people had to figure out this shit. How confusing would you say the new system is with the tokens and having
It's-
to do all these different activities and
It's
figure
not-
out how the
it's
missions
not.
work?
It's not confusing. It's quite straightforward. The token thing, like once someone's told you, yeah, you use tokens to get standing. That's basically what it is. Done.
Okay,
Yeah.
you think
I
it's
mean-
pretty easy to understand?
It took me a hot minute
yeah.
because I mean you just got to read through the things and be like, oh, okay, this goes here, this goes here.
It
and it's
took
fine.
me
Oh, but
longer
dude, none
as
of us
a
read
long.
instructions.
It took me longer
Yourself.
because I was overcome with the feeling of just, oh no, not another faction grind.
Not again.
Well, I mean, we knew that was coming, but man, when I saw that stuff on release, you guys heard me in the channel here. I was going around and I looked at each person. I was like, the grind! Oh no! There's
But it
so
is-
much!
It is what it
And then
is.
I came
I'm-
in.
Yeah, you came in and told us it's impossible to rank up, and I went and looked up on the forum and I see everyone, it's impossible, you can't get sun tokens. Meanwhile, us in the
In
fields,
fairness,
busy...
it did look like that.
Mate, you were all busy complaining while we were tranking Noah's Ark.
I was just like, well, I wish I had a doubler on because this is easy.
Are there any thoughts on the mods, the new mods that have dropped with Deimos?
I have not.
I'm
used
excited
them
to
yet.
see what we can do with
There
them. I
was
think
a-
you can only get the max rank.
No,
I
I
got-
found found one as a mission reward, just
Yeah, I
bronze
Oh, the
mod.
set mods, not the
The
prime
set mods, the
mods.
set mods. Yeah, not the prime.
Even set mods aside, didn't you drop friggin' Argon Scope?
Yeah,
that's
first bounty I
juicy.
did ever.
Straight
Was-
up Argon Scope. Like,
Straight up Arkansas. Although let's be fair, it's a very it's like a min max because yeah, Argon scope rarest, and then somewhere in the middle of this mess, one's amber star. Come on,
Yeah.
D. Like an
Have
amber
you done the
star?
vault yet, Reuben?
No, I haven't. It's the
Oh,
pro-
dude, get doing the
You
vault.
get them pretty
man.
consistently from there.
Okay.
but
It's
still
like
no,
just-
no scintillant.
No, I don't
Like,
even know what that is.
Yeah, don't worry about it. You and everybody else, bro.
I
They-
would just
they
like to point out, guys.
Yeah.
While we've been doing this podcast, I am running a vault, and I got 4
Ah.
scintillant right now.
Oh,
Scintillant.
yes.
Scintillant.
That is a C. I see a C in it.
Yeah.
scintillant.
It's silent.
It's scintillant now. I don't care, dude.
It's spelled exactly
I
the
don't even
same
care.
as
I don't even care,
scintillating. They
mate.
said it
I
in
don't
dev
even care.
stream.
Now, here's the thing, Callum. I have a bone to pick with you because when I was sitting in front of Father and I was like, this is expensive. Callum, I've got 8 scintillant. Should I give it to Father for 2 tokens? You're like, yeah, dude, scintillant's easy to farm. So I did that. The very next day, they removed scintillant from Father's tokens, and I find out that actually there's a meme that scintillant isn't real.
Well, look, you see, there's one thing we had here, Jason. One issue, right? It said it was a common drop, which was
Yeah.
clearly a fucking lie.
It did say that.
But Callum,
So we were
even
like,
if
oh,
they
common
lied to
drops.
you,
Everyone farms
you
common drops.
still
easy
lied to
peasy.
me.
Nah, dude.
They
DE
said
likes this move.
they said that they've seen it 10 times more drops overnight since they changed it. But of course, Twitch chat was like, "Yeah, well, 10 times 0 is still 0 DE." Oh, good heavens!
The Sentinel was a good joke. I do feel like it's probably going to be fixed soon. But I also, now that they're going to make it easier to get, I don't actually, and they've taken away its uses. I don't know what its purpose is, because
Crafting, dude.
like Callum keeps saying, this entire thing feels half baked. Because
Because it is. They
yeah,
even
there's
said it on the
not
dev
that
stream,
much
dude.
content.
Well, you got to remember when Fortuna dropped, all of us were massively excited because remember the TennoCon reveal for that was next to, it was amazing. They even had Railjack in that, and we are still like, when Fortuna actually dropped and we got into the Orvalis after we'd done a couple of bounties, mined a couple things, tranked a dog or two, we were like, well, what do we do? Is there a boss? Can
Yeah.
we just? It was, if you remember, they actually had a second thing where they're like, all right, part 2
Oh,
of the Fortuna update.
That's just encountered a DE. If you're listening, here's a bug for you. My Warframe is in English because that's the language I speak here. But the bonus is active la purificator 5 fois en once. So yeah, thanks France.
Didn't Steve say something on the dev stream about a French localization issue?
Yeah,
I'm not
I just
sure.
found it.
Oh, magnifique.
Oh, now you're getting into the character.
No, I can't rip on the French. Only Callum can. He's British.
Like the time we played Siege and there was that one guy going, La France isn't always la baguette.
Was he French?
I think so.
You think so?
I remember Hermé ripping him though.
True enough. But yeah, Josh, you're right. The update is certainly not complete, especially from what we saw on the dev stream tonight.
Yeah.
It looks like there's a whole bunch more that they want to add, and I reckon they will over time. They said that they asked their team, and all of them said that they had no confidence that this was going
Even
to
gonna
be
launch. Yeah.
released and dropped in the time zone that they were going to be doing it.
I mean, I appreciate that. Like, I want to
honesty.
say honesty, but like,
There's
I mean,
something.
they like
Listen,
Steve
it is-
said, lockdown has not been kind to them. The progress and the speed that they've been getting has been slow, and I got compassion on that, or sympathy, I guess, because lockdown hasn't been nice to anybody. RIP 2020, am I right?
Right,
No, I
I'm
mean,
right.
It's not ideal, but the thing is, we're all in lockdown here.
But we're not
And
developing a AAA game for free.
exactly. No,
True
that's
enough.
the thing, right?
What do you mean for
Or
free?
should
It
I
costs
say
a soul.
quadruple?
But what I'm getting at is
What soul?
we're all in a shitty situation, and yet we're getting a really cool update. Maybe it's not as fleshed out as we want it to be, but we are getting a really cool update, which has added a lot of cool stuff for free for a really fun game that looks amazing. There's only really so much you can complain, if I'm honest. So I'm pretty happy.
Listen, I'm human, bro. I can complain about anything.
Now look,
There
it's
you
been
go.
We know.
it's been Shire's policy for a long time that just because they work hard and it's free, it doesn't mean we should not complain, because they use the complaints to improve. That's the
Yeah.
one thing I gotta say kudos to DE for, because there are many companies out there that are like, what? We have problems. We don't care. Whereas DE, sometimes they take a long time, but they always listen.
Lies. Where's my third orb mother?
The third orb mother, they'll give you
Where's
another.
this?
Callum, they never said no.
Callum,
Where's this 75% off?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that too. That too.
Callum, you know what you will get eventually. Not maybe now, but eventually.
Ebola.
That too,
Probably.
but
I mean, he
Wisp
knows
Prime.
us.
Wisp Prime is coming, Callum, and do you know what that means?
Jason,
As
in
Prime.
2023, man. I've googled the dates. It's
Well,
another
now you have
3
a reason to
years.
live until then.
Callum,
It's
you'll
not
be
a
what,
good
like
enough reason,
40
dude.
in 2023?
No,
You're
because
fine.
I can see what's going to happen. It's going to come out, and I'm going to be like, guys, I like the look of these packages. Here's £70, DE. Meanwhile, I know again I'll be sat there going, DE, where's my 75% off?
At that point, you won't need a 75% off, Callum. Your followers will pay for your platinum.
Go.
You heard that, guys? Go to my channel, subscribe, go pay me. Thanks for
Go
tuning
sub to his OnlyFans for a box of sand that might have a T-shirt in it.
Or Wisp.
He also did confirm that the t-shirt does exist.
Unlike Scintillant.
Yeah, that actually has a negative like drop rate chance, whereas the t-shirts are an a fixed 0,
And
But
I
not
believe
negative.
but it's positive. Yeah.
we're out of time there. So
I don't have a herb garden.
that concludes our podcast on what Steve called DE's thirstiest update they've ever done. So thank you for joining us. Be sure to tune in next time, and be sure to play some Warframe because it's a good time.
No, it's not.
I don't know about you lads, but I'm gonna go hunt some fish down.
No,
In the sky.
you hunt the animals, you catch the fish.
Maybe I'm not talking about fish, Jason.
Fish are friends,
Maybe.
not food.
Maybe he's talking about daughter.
Everyone's talking about daughter.
And with that, we'll see you guys next time.
Or will be.